So we're here to get some, CBD 101 from my man, Al, man. How's it going?
Oh man, blessed, bro. Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, glad to have you here. So, we want to talk really about this whole thing because, obviously there's different aspects to the conversation I want to talk to you about. The first thing that I kind of want to get into, because as I prefaced, you started a CBD storefront out in Mesa, Arizona, correct?
Gilbert, we're right on the line.
Right on the line.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the first question that I have is, obviously you had the wherewithal to get a storefront, and we are going to talk about that process because I think people need to know about that. But before we get into that, I guess I should wonder. I want to know, like, why CBD? Like what exactly about CBD made you think that it was worth investing into a storefront?
Yeah, man, that's a really good question. Um, when it came down to CBD or anything, I've always kind of had those kind of aspirations to build a business and to be able to help people. And when I first heard about CBD, I like tree, I smoke,
Sure.
I do all that, but what I didn't realize was the medicinal benefits that were available through cannabis. And so I had a partner who I had helped start a pawn shop. He had started a long turf company as well. And he said, yo, I'm going to do 12 of these in the next year.
Hold on, 12 what?
12 stores. He said he was going to open up 12 stores.
Okay.
And
All in Arizona?
yeah, that was the plan.
Okay.
And he said, how many of these are you going to open up with me? And so first I looked at him sideways and I'm like, man, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. I got a job. I got a 9 to 5. There's no way for me to be able to put that in place. Ooh, there's a lot of startup capital. And I looked at all the obstacles. But the more I started to research the industry and how it was helping people and the number of people that were actually prospects based on common health ailments like pain, sleep, anxiety, I said, man, this is a huge market. And as I began to do more of the research, I started seeing stats over and over again that it was a $22 billion industry, at least predicted to be in 2022.
Hold on. So I just want to make sure I have this correct. So are we talking the marijuana industry in terms of dispensaries, or are we talking specific CBD industry?
Specifically to the CBD industry,
Damn.
It was predicted to be a $22 billion industry by 2022.
It's a very important stat to know, folks. I didn't know that. Damn. Okay.
So when you look
right.
at the numbers like that, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, it was almost a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And having a partner who had done it before, who just didn't have the wherewithal to duplicate himself, it made it a no-brainer for me to stick my hand in the ring, because I figured at the end of the day, if I was going to take my shot, I wanted to take my shot with someone that I knew had done it before and that I was cool with. So
Okay.
that's what it was.
Dope. So, all right. So explain to me the process. Like, so he brings the idea to you. He's looking to do 12 storefronts. So are you essentially franchising off of his brand, or are you doing your own thing from scratch?
Yeah, so that's a really, really key point there, because we're about a year and a half into this now. And so in the beginning, I was franchising off of his brand. He
Okay.
had done all the legwork. He had gotten all the trademarks. He had set up most of the vendor relationships. But it was really important to me that I understood every aspect of that process.
Sure.
And so the only way for me to do that was really to get my hands dirty and really start to manage those relationships and kind of push him, not out per se, but just giving myself space to learn and grow, so that I wasn't going to be completely reliant on him or anyone else for that matter. So about a year in, I saw the business was growing. We were profitable. And then I realized that the money wasn't necessarily in the storefront, but it was in the products itself. And when we looked into my store, while I was selling a lot of the national brands and I was selling our house brand that he had created and developed the relationships with the labs and had created special formulas to make sure that our products were going to be competitive, if not better, than what was out there. I had to go out and create my own line myself. And so I brought a couple products today for our new line. We just launched a new CBD topical, super high potency for a small amount with some essential oils. That's been really big for a lot of the ladies lately with that aromatherapy. So we put together a lavender essential oil with 500 milligrams of CBD, as well as a peppermint essential oil. And we're going to be doing a couple more lines here in the next couple months, really just to beef up our own product line in the stores.
So it sounds like what I'm hearing you say is that you learned the game, you created your retail space after you learned the game, and then now you're marketing your own product.
Yes, sir.
It's great. Love to hear it. So the products, obviously, the only middleman is just the person that you're getting it from wholesale. And then, like, do you guys create this stuff from scratch, or are you like, what exactly is that process when it comes to, creating something like this?
Yeah. So um, it sounds really complicated. So it really is complicated, but
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna
yeah.
dumb it down.
Explain it to me like I'm 10 years old. Like
Yeah,
that'll
so
work.
the tree's going to grow from the ground, and so you're going to have farmers that you develop relationships with, and you want to make sure those farmers are operating above board, close to the FDA guidelines that are going to hit, and so you don't want to lose those relationships. So it's really important that you vet where you're getting your raw materials from. Then at that point, they're going to go to a manufacturer. They're going to break it all down. They're going to extract it to almost like a concentrate form, what they call distillate. And so that's going to be anywhere from 85% pure to 99% pure if they're breaking it down to the isolate level. Once you have that distillate and that manufacturer relationship, then you go out and you find any additional additives that you want to add to your formula. So whether that be melatonin, whether that be an essential oil, whether that's just some aloe because you're making a cream or a lotion, you can source all those raw materials from black farms or white farms or farms from India or what have you, but you're 100% in control of that process. The challenge becomes if you're making a special formula that's not like any other product out there on the market, the quantities are the minimum MOQs is what they call it, minimum quantities. It can be really high. And so it's super cost prohibitive because you're going to have to buy 10,000 units at $3 a pop, and then you still got to get your labels, and then you got to get your trademarks, and you have to make sure your labels are tight based on the FDA guidelines or the nutritional supplement facts. So it can be real labor intensive, but again, if there's a blueprint and you're smart enough to take your time and follow it, it's certainly doable, and anybody can do it, man.
I hope people are paying attention because this is free information. These are some of the steps that they're never going to teach you in school. Like, we briefly spoke on the school system. It is what it is. We kind of just have to accept it. But ultimately, it's up to you to do this kind of research. And I think that's so. Let me ask you this: how do you find the relationship with the farmers? Like, are you just going out there just looking for the plug? Like how exactly? Like for real? Like how?
Yeah.
Because that's the plug shit.
Yeah.
Like let's be clear, guys. Like there's more than one way to trap. Like it ain't just we ain't niggas don't gotta just sell dope on the block no more. If we can make CBD and make a bigger profit, then that's a pack. You know what I'm saying? So we looking for the plug.
Yeah. So
What's up with the plug?
Yeah, so the plug is, again, just like anything else, is trial and error, man. So a lot of these farmers, there's actually a mass influx of farmers that went to cannabis as a crop, cash crop,
Sure.
or CBD or industrial hemp. And so there's a glutton of farmers, and not all farms are created equal. I've visited at least 15 farms here in Arizona, and
Damn.
in most of it, just really wasn't up to par with what you're going to find in Oregon, Northern Nevada, and that's where the majority of that's where I source the majority of my product for now. Just develop a partnership with these guys out in Alabama. Shout out to the Flowers Group out there. We are embarking on a 20-acre farm this year in the Black Belt of Arizona. So these are all black brothers. They've created a nonprofit to feed the people in that area. It's a very impoverished area. Last year, we got an opportunity to go out there and actually talk to the people and really give them information that they would have never gotten or hadn't seen before. I was completely floored at the way these people were living, but that they have vast amounts of land that, you know, they may have been, their families may have been slaves on at one point or what have you, but out there talking to the farmers, talking to people who have land but don't have the skills, and us empowering them by giving them the genetics, teaching them how to farm the land, and then basically co-share cropping with them, with their land, their work, to create products that we were going to deem viable to continue to manufacture our own products for. So pretty exciting opportunity out there in the South right now, man. Really excited about it.
That's fire. Like, that's fire, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. And that's